episode of NextGen TCG pre-Worlds. Zach is actually leaving for Worlds tomorrow as we record this on the Monday, August 12th. Zach, how we feeling? How we feeling?
I am excited. I'm ready to get sunburned. I think some people saw me 4th of July and I was bright red. I'm ready to just go aloha all the way.
Third time, right? That Worlds has been in Hawaii. Third
official time in the Nintendo era, I guess you could say.
Okay. Oh yeah, they also had that like non-sanctioned WotC event too, right?
Yeah, Tropical Mega Battle, which there's so many terms that overlap, but they did it 3 years in a row back in like 1999, 2001. So technically a Worlds event, but not at the scale that the Worlds is happening today.
Yeah. So since you're going to Worlds, goals that you can share with the public. What is your goals to go to Worlds?
I mean, personally, my number one goal is to see all my friends that only go to Worlds. Like, you go to all these collecticons and shows, but there's some people that only go to Worlds every single year. And seeing those people, give them a hug, shaking their hand, seeing what cool cards they picked up, what autos they got, their experiences is literally the number one goal. But obviously, in addition to that, we're going to go there, go to the Pokemon Center, try to get a bunch of cool stuff. I love getting the jerseys every year. I love wearing those at the show, and maybe trying some fresh pineapple. I think that'd be a pretty good side goal, a little side mission to achieve.
Luckily this year, Hawaii is not on fire. It's a good year. We don't need to laugh. That's a dark joke. I wasn't trying to make a joke. That was serious. Oh. If you go to the Pokemon Center, I want you to buy me something.
Okay.
I want like a jersey. I'm a size medium.
I'll get you a set of chopsticks or maybe a little glass or something.
No, I specifically want a jersey.
A jersey?
A jersey. Okay. If you can swing it.
We'll wear our jerseys together. How about that?
Okay.
I'll give it to you in person.
November's coming up real quick. It's like I look at the calendar. It's like, for us anyways, it's like 2 months until Canadian Thanksgiving. I'm just like, dude, where did 2024 go? Where did 2024 go? My goodness. All right. So just on the note of Worlds, obviously we have the Worlds trophy cards, number 1 to 4, as well as physical trophies as well. Last year was the first redesign of the cards that they've done, over a decade? 6 years? 6 years-ish?
Give it since 2014. It's the last time they redesigned it.
So 2014 will probably, most likely, they will keep the same design from last year. You would think so?
Yeah, you think so. You think they keep it, but I mean, you never know. You could be surprised. So.
So you're gonna have your hammer. You're gonna break down the glass, and you're gonna just run off with some trophies. But in all actuality, can you give me a quick rundown of the amount of cards that are awarded, as well as the amount of physical trophies? Because that number actually differs. It's no longer just the 2 main events. There's like a whole bunch of other events as well that gets, and there are different things that get awarded as well. So give us a rundown.
Yeah, so there's really 4 events that are awarded trophies. The physical trophies would be Pokemon Unite, VGC, the TCG, and then I think there's one other event that's awarded a trophy. And basically,
Pokemon Go is awarded a trophy.
Pokemon Go. There you go.
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go.
Hey! You are talking to a person who has hit Legend multiple times in Pokemon Go. So
level 50?
No, it's Legend rank in Pokemon Go. So I respect the hustle. All right, so Unite and Pokemon Go are probably the 2 kind of more obscure events that have been recently added within the last few years. Then we also have the main event. So let's break down trophies. So those 2 events, Unite as well as Go, do not get cards. They only get
cards.
They only get physical trophies.
They only get the physical trophy, and the cool part about Unite is they give 5 trophies to the team. So not only do you have in TCG you have 3 divisions. You have masters, seniors, and juniors, where each person gets 1 trophy. If you want the trophy, you negotiate 1 person. Now Unite, they have a team of 5 players. That's 5 additional trophies being pumped into the market for the physical trophies. And what's crazy is in the past these have always gone between like 6 to 10. And then I think a couple of the guys auctioned them on Golden. Last year they went for like 20K a piece, which is absolutely nuts. That's a huge jump up, especially for a recent trophy. And the cards are actually only distributed with the VGC and the TCG. So that'd be the video game and the trading card game. They will get a physical card in addition to the physical trophy. And those are just insanely difficult to get. I mean, you have to think the player for the TCGs and a crowd of thousands, all over the world. They finally make it to Worlds. They get that invite, which getting the invite's already tough enough as is. And then they win the event. They're getting, paraded around by Ichihara. The sparklers are going off, all this stuff. And then you have all of these just hounds just in the audience that are like, how do I get this card? How do I get this card? Most of the time I'm sitting there like, I'm happy for the guy. And you don't want to go up there and ask him or this or that. So the strategy to buy a trophy is always really weird. You're always going through a friend. You're almost never talking to the person directly. And, there's a couple like key brokers that typically the players know to go to. And the prices last year were just insane. So let me stop there before we hop in prices.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about how many worlds have you been to personally?
Oh man, 2016 all the way to current. So I could have gone 2015, but I just moved to New York City. The weekend Worlds was going on, and I needed to find an apartment. I was living in a hotel, and I was like, yeah, I should probably stay here and get an apartment rather than go up to Boston for Worlds. 2016 on, and Worlds is one of my favorite events of the year.
Wait, is 2016? Where was 2016 held?
San Francisco.
San Fran. Okay. Because I remember the World's card it had like a picture of like Fisherman's Wharf on it as well with the starters.
Yeah, the playmat's awesome. Big old Snorlax.
Yeah, the playmat was really good for that card. I still want one of those cards. I don't think I have one. I actually might. I can't remember at this point. Any memorable purchases like for yourself? Like I know you made lots of purchases on behalf of other people, but like personal collections, like what is your most memorable purchase, you would say?
I think the one that stings the most is at 2016 Worlds, there was a non-holo base set 2 Charizard that was missed the hollow layer. And the guy was like, yeah, I want $200 for it. I was like, dude, $200 isn't bad for if it's this rare of a card. And unequivocally, everyone in our group was like, no, it's fake, don't get it. And I was like, I don't know, I don't like it. And then CGC authenticates it 3 years later. Ended up winning the card in auction for 16 grand. And so I'm like, man, that one really stung as far as just price difference. Because it's I had it in my hands raw for 200, but it could have been fake. But once it was authenticated and, all the layers that should be there and it's printed at the right time, I was like, well, it's a pretty cool card. I've never seen another one. So that's one of the lasting memories. But one of the crazy things is all the people that I met 2016 Worlds that are long-standing friendships now. Like June, Poke Card Zone. Just there's so many people that I see at every Worlds that was the first time I met them, and I'm tight with all these people. It's kind of cool the friendships that just come out of Worlds.
Non-holo base set 2 Charizard. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's real too. You see it and you're like, there's no way this could be real. You're like, what? This is weird. And then find out it's real. You're like, man, should have bought it for $200.
$200 now on a chance is actually not that. On a gamble of authentication is not a huge gamble. If you think about in today's prices.
Yeah.
Back then, I was like,
that's a first edition Neo set where everything's grade 9s and 10s.
Right.
Literally, you're getting a Lugia PSA 10 out of just a random loose lot. For that amount of money.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. So we all hope you have a good time at Worlds. Take lots of video for us. We'll do a recap when you get back. And one special announcement is that after Worlds, our first podcast after you get back from Worlds, we are actually going to have a segmented guest for the very first time ever. So a guest on the podcast, our very first one. I let Zach choose the guest. He hasn't told me who it is yet, but preferably I said just have someone from Worlds so we can so you guys can hash it out together and everything that happened at that event. Because obviously I am not going. I am staying in Canada because I don't like to travel. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I hate traveling, but one of these days I will get to a Worlds one of these days. But anyways, let's move on.
Yeah, travel, man. Come see us.
All right, so I'm gonna change the pace up this week. We are not gonna do market trends this week, Zach. We are not gonna do
151 game.
We're gonna play a game. We're gonna play a game. Zach has already looked at the Google Doc that I prepared. The reason why we're not doing market trends is because I feel like, especially since we're coming closer to Worlds, the amount of higher end cards kind of didn't really show up that much. Obviously, we still have the playtest cards that are up on Heritage Auctions, but I like to talk about things that have actually finished. So we will get to that when we do our recap. So it was kind of light on market trends. So I came up with a game for you, Zach. We're going to play a game.
Let's do it.
It's going to involve the original 151 Pokemon. We're going to go through them all. I am going to, one by one, list each Pokemon and then you're gonna tell me what card in the TCG that it has sold for the highest ever.
The
For
highest
that,
ever
for
PSA
that,
10 first edition.
for what it doesn't have to be PSA 10 first edition. It could be like Japanese. It can be Snap. It can be Play Promo. Anything
Okay.
across the entire hobby. That species, what is the most expensive that card or species has ever sold for? Right?
It's like you want to know just the card name, I guess, just like what card
just
it is.
just the card name. All right.
Let's do
So
it.
the first like 6 are pretty easy. So let's start off. Number 1, Bulbasaur.
Snap Bulbasaur.
Snap Bulbasaur.
Probably 130K maybe.
I think for like the more significant ones, if you can list the price, that would help as well.
Okay.
Number 2, Ivysaur.
And I wonder if there's a staff or pre-release Ivysaur version. I don't know if that probably wouldn't top first ed. I'd say first ed base Ivysaur would probably be the most valuable.
There is a pre-release Ivysaur, but I think you
But
are.
I think first ed base would beat out the
first ed
pre-release.
base. All right, Venusaur.
Venusaur. The thing is, there's so many cool Venusaurs. Like a couple years ago, it could have been no number blueback until that got debunked. You got first ed base is, I said 30K sale before. No rarity Venusaur, I think just had a Publix. Well, I know there's one available for like 90K right now, so I'd probably say no rarity PSA 10 Venusaur.
I agree with that. No rarity Venusaur. Charmander, easy on.
Snap Charmander.
Snap Charmander. Charmeleon.
I got to go back to first ed base.
I'd say first ed base too.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be more than the W stamp. It's gonna be more than some of the other ones.
Big boy, Zard.
Well, actually, no rarity Charmeleon maybe more than first ed base, actually.
Well, what was the last no rarity sale?
It's several thousand, probably, would be my guess. I don't see that card going below 1,000. But Charizard would be no rarity, so it's got the 300K confirmed sale. At one point, I'd offered way above that for it at one point. So,
thing is,
public sale, the first ed base may have a higher public sale. There is a gold label one at alt that I may own, so I've heard that may break some records, but we'll see. So
we'll see.
There's a gold NBA one.
It's a toss up between first ed as well as no rarity, but I think first ed has the highest confirmed public sale at 4K at peak COVID levels. But anyways, Squirtle.
Snap Squirtle.
Snap.
Easy.
Wartortle.
We're gonna go through all 151. Okay. I mean that'd be first ed base Wartortle. So
Man, that card was such a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
that was so hard to get in a PSA 10 card.
So that's had some higher sales than some of the other ones. The alternative is the stage error or the evolution error Wartortle, where you have the double Wartortle. So that PSA 10 was high at one point, but I think the first ed base may have outpriced that.
Mm-hmm. Blastoise.
Ooh man, I'd say the Protostoise.
Yeah.
I would say it would be some prototype Caterpie, but hasn't sold publicly yet. I mean, I think it has to be first ed base, right?
First ed base.
I think that's going to beat out. Caterpie's a more difficult card to grade. First ed base, it's going to beat out no rarity. Just that Pokemon specifically.
Am I thinking Butterfree?
You have D edition Butterfree, but I think it may have had some high sales in the past. But I would see the first ed Butterfree being up there too. Let me think. There's a lot of promo Butterfrees. I think there's a staff Butterfree. There's got to be some sort of. Do you know the answer to this, or
No, I'm thinking with you. I didn't want to throw you off.
Man, I just think the jungle one's so common, and then the D edition isn't like $1,000 card. I gotta think there's some other cool Butterfree. It's probably like a Heart Gold Soul Silver Butterfree, or just something like EX era. But I would assume Butterfree's got a mid-range card that's just up there. It's a third evolution that just doesn't pop up as much.
Beedrill.
First ed base is a pretty tough one. That the card sold for 3 to 4K, and I don't think of. I mean, well, the no rarity probably has the recent comps that are above the 4K, so it had to be no rarity for the Beedrill. It's a rare, and no rarity rares are really hard to get.
Pidgeot.
Oh yeah, I keep thinking we're going like for the first ed base rares, but we're just going in the chronological order. Pidgeot, there's probably first ed jungle or no symbol would be up there. There's some random Pidgeots just from the mid-era stuff, but I don't think they're going to beat out what the jungle's gone for. It'd be one of the two jungle versions, be my guess.
Jungle Pidgeot is so good. It's too good. That artwork's
my
so
second
good.
favorite card.
Eradicate.
I need that card. I've made a K offer on a Trainer Deck Eradicate, and I have not gotten one. So I would say that I think that Eradicate has moved privately for 10K. So that'd be my guess.
Next one, easy one. Pikachu.
Illustrator.
Illustrator.
for now.
For now.
Is that a Pikachu card though? Because it doesn't say Pikachu.
The label says Pikachu on it.
It does not in Japanese. It's
No,
the technical term is Illustrator.
Okay. All right. Okay. Could also be a Mew card. There's a Mew in that card. Okay,
If you can
moving
find
on. If you can find it. Raichu.
Man, these are tough. There's so many Raichus. First at base is like 15. You know, the no rarity is probably 20. Maybe more.
Pre-release?
Pre-release. There you go. Okay. If you call it a card, if you call it a real card.
Okay. Pre-release is final answer?
It is. The sale of that's crazy, so.
Nidoran.
Man.
Female. Sorry.
Female?
It identifies as a female.
Jeez. It probably,
Jungle?
I don't think it's, Jungle's like such a common card. Like, Jungle's a 64 card set where there's 16 commons, and you're pulling 5 of them every time you open a pack. Like, they're not valuable. They're not valuable. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're pulling 50 every time you open a box. Like, it's just.
Nidoqueen.
That bad bitch. Just kidding. Probably Jungle Hollow. That'd be the go-to.
Okay.
The Nidoking's going to be no rarity as well, because that's a 20, 30K, card. If the pop is there, like, I don't see anything beating that out.
Clefairy family.
Man, Clefairy, that would have to be first at base, unless it's an error. No, first at base would beat it, because that'd be like 15K plus. Clefable.
Pre-Fable.
The Pre-Fable, I don't think has a sale of the 9 in a long time. So the no rarity, the no symbol Pre-Fable or Clefable might have sold for more. I would say the most valuable card is a pre-release Clefable in a 9. If a sale were to happen, that could be a 10K plus card. If a 10 ever popped up, I think you're looking at 25K minimum. I would question the legitimacy of a 10 if it ever popped up. My first thought is that card has been cleaned or something.
Cleaning cards, that doesn't happen, Zach.
I don't know. You'd be surprised.
I'm just joking. Vulpix family.
Vulpix family, the highest should be the blue dot Vulpix error, first dead, be my guess. I've seen some cool gold border if you're getting really into it. I don't think the W stamp is going to beat out the first dead blue dot Vulpix. And then the Ninetales should be the no rarity PSA, or the no damage PSA 10 Ninetales. So I know that card would sell for 25K plus easy if it would ever pop up. You probably have multiple offers. Wigglytuff would be probably base set 2, because that's a super low pop card. It's got some crazy sales. On the high side, if it's not base set 2, it's going to be no symbol. Because that's a super low pop card. It's actually the card that keeps you from completing a set a lot of times. Vileplume is probably the Vileplume EX, if not the Jungle, first out or no symbol Vileplume.
Persian.
It'd probably be the no HP Dark Persian from the mag that came out. It's a pop 1 card I picked up about over 10 years ago, and it's still pop 1 from what I understand. But it's similar to no damage Ninetales. It's probably a 20K plus card, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to sell the copy I have. Golduck?
Oh, actually no.
Wow.
Let's do Psyduck, because that has an interesting card.
Well, Psyduck's got a lot of interesting cards, a lot of big cards. It's all the world's cards. You have a Tropical Breeze that's probably a 100K plus card at a high grade.
That's why I chose it. Yeah, you have Not Awake as well as Honorable.
But Not Awake would be 100K,
I know, I'm just saying, but it's like it's a card that's of a species, like it's more expensive than you would actually think. Like,
yeah,
Not Awake is like a couple $1,000.
There's probably like 10 Psyducks that are common uncommons that are worth $1,000 PSA 10. And you would never know it unless you try to go buy that card. And you'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this card costs that much.
Did we do Golduck?
We didn't do Golduck. It'd probably be the Gym Challenge Golduck. Since that is a chase card in the set, it's one of the top 4 hardest cards to grade. So it's like a 4K plus card.
Thick, hollow. Like Misty's Golduck is like
thick.
That hollow be thick. It was a hard. It was a difficult one to acquire.
Very hard.
Arcanine.
You got Light Arcanine, you got Plains Arcanine, you got so many beautiful Arcanines. You got Call of Legends, you got EX. Man, I can see Light Arcanine having some nutty sale that's like several $1,000s.
I've
Plains
sold
Arcanine.
2. I've sold 2 for like
really?
3,000. Yeah, for like 3,000 around there.
I mean, I can see the Unlimited getting up there too. I think the Blaine's Arcanine probably is $1,000 plus sale, but Light Arcanine would be the guess.
Fun fact: Arcanine
Yes,
was
sir.
originally supposed to be a legendary Pokemon. That's why it's called the legendary Pokemon as his description. I
That's a cool
think.
fun fact.
Cool fun fact. Polyrath.
Poliwrath. So you got first ed base, which everyone doesn't like because it's like the cheapest first ed base. It's probably no rarity, would be my guess. You got some killer Poliwrath art and Unseen Forces. Yeah, I think it has to be no rarity.
Alakazam.
Jeez. Oh, man. You got Masaki. You got a gray stamp first ed base Alakazam that I paid a lot for. I think, you probably got 25K comp on first ed base. No rarity I think, has a 30 or 40K comp a couple years ago. And Masaki like probably 8K right now. I don't see many Alakazams being over the 40K mark. Yeah,
Nah.
that's probably it.
Machamp.
Deck A would be the most. I think no rarity, maybe super low pop. That could be a 30K plus no rarity card. You do have some Stamp Machamp promos that are pretty cool. If any of these cards were to be signed, so I have like a Trainer Deck A signed Machamp. That's probably a pretty valuable card, but it's kind of like cheating because it's not, it's just like it's not just a card by itself. I'd probably say no rarity for Machamp.
Slow Bro.
Slow Bro.
Not King. OG Bro.
Slow Bro. Man, it's probably like, well, man, does it have an EX? I know Slow King has EXs. I mean, you have a cool Slowpoke promo that's like the Toyota. I don't know. I mean, I'd probably say Reverse Unseen Forces, maybe, would be my guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The Nintendo AR cards is just like right over my head. It's just too much for me. I can't. Magneton.
There's some cool Magnetons. I love this carriage Magneton Hollow. The Fossil one's pretty common. It's like $400. The Team Rocket Unlimited would probably be the one because the first ed's like 4K, maybe sold for 8K before. Actually, the first ed maybe because I think it may be the highest confirmed sale. I would say the Unlimited super low pop and has a chance, but the first ed Dark Magneton would be the highest.
Gengar.
Big card. Big card. Big card. Masaki's over 10. Probably LC Reverse Hollow would be the big Gengar. That's probably a 15 to 20K card right now.
Masaki capped at 24.
Well, the Legendary Collection Reverse, sorry.
Yeah, but Masaki confirmed sales 24.
I mean, then Masaki would probably win if that's confirmed sale.
Yeah.
But I know the LC one is like, people are hunting that like no other.
I remember
super low pop.
When that 24 sale, because PWCC held it, I remember looking at the comments of the sale, and I think Swole like made a comment, and then like PWCC instantly replied to him so that it was paid for, and then everyone just went nuts. That's when things are serious. When PWCC like straight up says it was paid for,
That's wild.
Just like shut everyone up.
Were you the one that bought it?
No. Moving on. Easy one, Chansey. Easy.
Ooh, man. So Snap Chansey would be up there. The no rarity is nowhere close to Snap. First ed, Shadowless first ed are both 30, 40K cards.
Creatures deck.
The Creatures deck is like 40 to 50. I mean, the Snap is going to be the one that just blows it. You also have the 1, 2, 3 Neo Battle Road Chanseys that are like in that 60, 70K range if you get the right grade. So, beta, I mean, the Snap Chansey is the best. That's going to be the answer.
Kangaskhan. Easy
Trophy
one.
King. Trophy King.
Trophy King.
Kang gang.
Day. All right, let's see if we can pull some cool ones here. Magikarp.
Snap Magikarp.
Snap Magikarp. Followed by.
I mean, there's a couple other carps, so.
I say Fan Club. Fan Club. Probably second.
Fan Club, yeah. I'll give you that.
Okay. Moving on. We're almost there, Zach. We're almost to the end. Gyarados.
Gyarados.
Snap.
No rarity.
Snap.
Yeah, Snap Gyarados.
Easy one.
Well, I'm just thinking through all the different Gyarados out there. Yeah, I'll give it to you. That's a good one.
Lapras?
I'm just trying to think of one that like would have beat yours out or something. Lapras would... Man, I feel like there's some random Lapras here and there, but every time I think of them, they're like not that expensive. There's some cool like VS Lapras and stuff. Yeah, I mean, Fossil Lapras first ed. That's had some high sales. It's got to be that.
Here we go. This is where the back end is where things get interesting. It gets fun.
Man, Scramble EV, or are we thinking the Fan Club EV?
Okay, the Fan Club EV. Also,
10K, 12K. I think
yeah,
it's only worth 5K, but it's sold for 12. You know.
yeah, it's probably scramble at this moment. It's probably scramble. Vaporeon,
I mean, first ed base. I mean, first ed jungle. And I can't
what's it?
think of it.
It's like a 4K card.
Well, I mean, it's sold for probably 8 to 12 in the past. Doesn't
So
mean it's worth that today, but if we're going all-time private sale, I mean, you also have the Top Sun, but I don't think those in tens have broken 8K.
Gold Star, Gold Star play promo was
Yeah,
2,000. I'm not saying highest, but I'm just saying notable
yeah. I don't think
cards.
those have broke. I don't think those have broke above all that.
You know which one's next? Your boy. What's your
Jolteon?
boy? The Jolteon's next. What's the Jolteon? There are no good Jolteon. There are no good Jolteon cards, people. We might as well just end the come up.
You know, the greatest card ever made. The greatest card ever made. The best artwork. You know, Jimeno just like on fire when she writes that. It's. I mean, Gold Star Jolteon is up there. I think the first edition one's only sold for a couple grand. The no symbol's only been a couple grand. I could see the Gold Star Jolteon have beaten it. You have a couple staff Jolteons which are nice, but I don't think they've broken a grand. You get these random like pop one cards that'll get these price spikes every now and then. I don't think there's a Jolteon over 10K. I'm sorry, man.
Why are you apologizing to me? It's your card.
Gotta be a frugal card.
You don't need to apologize to me.
I've got a wall of Jolteons next to me, and it's so beautiful. They're all staring at you.
Flareon. It has to be. I think it's the play promo one.
Yeah, I think it's got to be that too.
That's like 10K. That's a 10K
Are
card.
we missing some EVs? There's so many cool EVs out there.
No. Well, a lot of like the more well-known EVs are Johto era. So that Espeon, Umbreon area, that's where.
Yeah, but those are the play promos. So
yeah, that's when things get a little more crazy. Porygon, I guess Fan Club is probably it. I don't think of anything. Fan Club.
Yeah.
Amistar, Masaki.
Ooh, yeah, Masaki has to be.
Same thing with Kabutops. No, there's no Kabutops. Golem was Masaki.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other Golems. I mean, there's a Golem EX card that may be up there, but I can see the Masaki being better.
Kabutops.
Crystal Kabutops, so that's probably up there. You also have Crystal Golem as well. You got the reverse, so those may have sold for a couple grand in the past.
I think Masaki Golem has outpaced Crystal.
Yeah, I don't see the fossil first eds beating those.
No.
Yeah, the Crystal or the Masaki.
Aerodactyl.
Oh man, you got pre-release, European release, gold stamp. It's pretty big. It's probably sold for a couple grand before. I mean, you have the Cosmos foil version of all these fossil hollows that I think is worth way more, but I'm also very biased because I, built a position in them. There's some really cool Aerodactyls out there. You got the vending. I mean, I think it's got to be the pre-release first ed fossil.
Snorlax.
Baby, man. It's got to be first ed jungle. I mean, there's a guy that was collecting like 10 of them that, I think he may have been paying up to 10K at one point. I don't know if any Snorlax is over.
I think the next one is the staff jungle. Not staff jungle. The staff Snorlax is the next one.
Don't you have the art contest, like one that was the vending, but maybe they released it separately where like the cards look the same or something?
Oh, yeah, I know you're
like the drawing contest, like something like that.
Yeah. But I think you are right with jungle.
I mean, the jungle was just so strong. I mean, it's like, I'm sure there's other good Snorlaxes out there. It's just like, are they beating 10K? It's a big number to go past.
Articuno, Snap.
Well, yeah, I guess Snap. I was gonna think maybe the phone card, but the Snap is definitely up there. I mean, that's like 70, 80K.
The next one's probably the phone cards, which are the Zapdos and the Moltres, right?
Yeah, I would say so with those. Yeah, then there's those test ones that just came out too they're popular. So I don't see the fossil first eds beating those. Yeah, I don't think any other Mole Tracers out. There's so many of those cards out there, but none of them are breaking 5K, and the phone cards have all broken that when they're graded 10s.
Dragonair.
First ed base is a beautiful card, one of the most gorgeous cards ever made. There's so many good Dragonairs after that. It's got to be the no rarity Dragonair because that was like 30K a couple years ago, which was the craziest sale, but you needed to complete a set, so.
Dragonite.
I mean, Cosmos Fossil Dragonite, I think that's over 10K. I think it's got sales there too, so.
All right. Mewtwo. Easy.
Oh my gosh, just a lot of Mewtwo's though, man. Just a lot of Mewtwo's.
I
I
think it
mean,
has to be SSB. There's something better than SSB.
oh, okay, if you're calling that a Mewtwo card, then yeah.
No, that's a Mewtwo card. Don't give me that.
I
That's a
mean, it's
Mewtwo.
got Mewtwo on it. It's just 250 is the highest sale I've seen for the number one. So
What are some notables in Mewtwo?
I mean, I don't think any of them are going to beat the no rarity. The first ed base has consistent sales over 20K. It may not be a 20K card today, but it's sold in the 20s many times. You got the inverted WB, you got the no stamp WB. I mean, there's all kinds of just really cool Mewtwo's. You got the core Mewtwo, which is on eBay right now for 20K. It's a card that I've offered 10K for privately before. There's a lot of cool Mewtwo's.
One card I wish I would have got was the. It's not up there, like near the top tier, but I really wish I would have got a copy of the hyper rare tournament Japanese exclusive Mewtwo. That's a nice card.
It's another big one. It's another one that I always get confused with some of those because there's like a couple of them that are like 1K, and there's some that are like 10K. I'm always like double checking, make sure you're not buying the 10K one for vice versa.
Yeah. Last one, Mew.
Expedition Mew. It's got to be it's 20K I think at one point. What Mews are better than Expedition Mew? That's the real question.
Victory Orb.
Oh well, okay.
Okay.
But, like, the cards I'm picking are called Mew. The cards you're picking are like, hey, there's a Mew in that illustrator. It's a Mew card. I'm like, sure.
Victory Orb Mew. We also other notable Southern Islands Mew is also very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
God, that card is so hard to get at a 10. Southern Islands Mew. We have Art Academy Mew.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess you got Space Pika, but
we can hop in Discord and we can get Binks to tell us the story about it.
Oh my gosh, you're looking for a long story.
All right. So that didn't go as fast as I thought it was going to be. I definitely will edit out some of the more. It's whatever card, but we'll get the hits in there. Well, that was a fun game. I think it really brings up like triggers your brain to like think about like some of the cards that have come out in like 30-year history of Pokemon, and just like some cards that just like you never thought that would be hitters or big obscure cards that have never come out before. Yeah, I like it.
Put me on edge, man.
Put you on edge. All right. So that is our substitute for market trends this week. Obviously, next podcast we can talk about the breakdown of Worlds, where World Trophy card is selling for. We'll have the end of the Heritage auctions, and we have some other stuff that has popped up recently. But yeah, I enjoyed myself with that. Yeah, give it to me.
I've already got a deal set for one of the Worlds trophies, so I've already sent partial payment with the rest of the payment paid in full when we get there. So pretty stoked about that. It's a number 4 Pikachu trophy, and it's from a couple years ago. So it's not like you obviously don't know who's going to win this year, but
or do you know who's going to win this year?
Ooh, conspiracy.
Okay, moving on to our main topics this week. I feel like we need to spend more time on this whole CT scanning, X-ray scanning, MRI scanning situation, because I feel like there's more implications that we didn't really think about, first off. More recently, there's a person on E4 now offering CT scanning services. So for $75, you could have your heavy pack scanned by this person. And they went on E4, actually joined the forum, and also like asked for feedback at how they can best optimize their position as well as their business. For Zach, let me get your first reactions on that. $75 too much? What do you think of the service? Would you use it, or what's your position on it?
I think all this stuff's taken off way more rapidly than I thought. I mean, this is like a legitimate like business now. Like there are people who are going to be submitting their cards and their packs to verify authenticity. Hey, like maybe they could have a service where it's like $60 we tell you if there's a hollow inside, and $75 we tell you which hollow it is. You know what I mean? There's so many people that are going to just use this to validate. If I'm going to spend $5,000 on a first ed base shadowless blister, which has happened before. I would spend the $75 just to know it's real. It's not resealed. Just beyond the is it light or heavy. Just hey, is this like legit? And even the boxes now, they're going layer by layer. You find out if you have a Charizard in the box. Like, why not spend the $1,000 or whatever to CT scan your first ed base box before you spend the $200,000 to open it? I mean, so far there's no side effects as far as just damaging the cards and such. To me, I think the people that did it kind of weren't expecting it to be this kind of hit. I think they were just trying to prove a point or just prove a concept, proof of concept. But I think it's something that like is going to be here to stay, and you need to like think before you buy any pack today. Like, has this been CT scanned? You really do need to think that.
So there's two things that are going to come out of this. First, someone's going to get very upset and claim there's going to be like some sort of scam like stories at some point in the near future where someone has like swapped out packs, like one of these services will swap out packs or the swapped out boxes. That's going to happen. I guarantee you. We can pencil this in for future date. That's going to happen. And the second thing is that we are going to get CT scan boxes, like you have alluded to already. First off, if the verification is a big thing. Logan Paul would have definitely spent $1,000 to have his GI Joe card scanned to make sure there were actually Charizards in there. You have to remember though, this is kind of like a very limited scope where it is actually monetarily feasible to scan. Like there's a specific era of cards where it's actually still worth to do it. So first off, you can pencil out completely modern out, everything modern. You don't need to do it, right? It's so you're pretty much just talking vintage. So WotC, early Nintendo probably is a time that you would be CT optimized to do it. And could you just imagine, like Gary has mentioned this before. He's opened a first ed box and he's got like 3 Charizards out of one box, which is absolutely insane. But the one thing that's lost though is the CT scan can tell you there's a Charizard in it, but it can't tell you what grade that Charizard is. And the difference of grade between PSA 10 Charizard and PSA 9 Charizard is exponential. Huge. It's huge. It's exponential. And you have to remember, like during that whole WotC era, I know that you've had bad luck with this, but in most cases, there's usually at least one Charizard in the box. So you're almost guaranteed with every first edition box, you're guaranteed almost one Charizard. So at this point, after verification, you're really, the only thing that you're trying to scan for is you're trying to get, if you get more hits than you would expect. Well, how much would like a box with like 3 confirmed Charizards sell for? Just like
it'd be a lot. I mean, you'd think the 10s are 2K each, so I mean that should be a 500K plus box if you get the 3. Because one, what are the chances of finding it, and 2, CT scanning it before it's released to the market? I mean, very rarely do you get 3 holos the same kind of box, let alone a Zard.
Yeah, but I think someone mentioned in the previous episode, like CT scanning is just kind of like the beginning. Like the beginning, and then we're gonna eventually move into MRIs, which are way more accurate, but the machines are far more expensive. But if you get if you get the right margins, someone will do it. Someone will do it for you.
Well, CT scans aren't that expensive, so that $75 like per scan mark, that's mostly due to the access to a CT machine and kind of like what it takes to get there. Most of the cost when it comes to like radiology and stuff goes back to paying for the machine, not for like the energy or what have you to like actually run the scan. So these guys are probably just cash flowing like crazy on this machine. Now they may have paid a ton of money for the machine, and depending on what their access is or this or that, but it's something where like almost all of it is just juice on the table. It's not going to run the machine, I guess you could say. It's to So I mean they could literally scan things 100 times and their cost on their side doesn't change that much.
I am very worried about the sealed vintage market. As a person who does not own any sealed vintage at all, I do not own any sealed anything basically. I have 3 sealed Southern Islands binders. That's literally all I have for sealed stuff. I would be like, if you're into like, I would be very concerned. I would also be concerned of like, just in the future if I ever plan to sell like loose packs, boxes or loose packs. I could just inevitably feel like there's gonna be like just like this bad aura in the air of people just like, did you scan this box? And just like, oh my god, this is where we are right now.
I don't know. I mean, you play devil's advocate. I think it also adds confidence to the market. And one of the reasons that I never, really kept a lot of sealed before things hit 10K each is I just thought it's easy to fake seal. Some of the wraps on these older boxes are just really simple plastic seals. WotC wrappers everywhere. It's not hard to get, fresh, unused WotC wrapper. And so it's one of those things that like I didn't collect it because I was worried that I'd hold something for 20 years and find out this $500K $500 investment's no longer worth 20K. 20 years from now, and you're counting on that to buy a house or a car or pay for kids' tuition. I just said, if you have a card, it's got more concrete value. It is what it is. You're taking out that opening premium, the premium to the experience part of it. So like, I do think the prices on sealed will go down a little when you take out the mystery factor. When mystery, adds a premium or an extra layer to it. If not knowing if the Gengar's in the fossil pack, you have to open 10 of them to get it, or it's like all that extra money is not going to be wasted when you could just buy the PSA 10 for the full amount. You could buy the Gengar pack and open it. I do like the amount of confidence it instills in the authenticity portion of things. If you get to the point where you can put fake cards in a box and it passes the CT scan, then that's going to be a little wild. But I like the idea that you could buy a box that's guaranteed authentic. I mean, the baseball card shop, in Indianapolis that did the Logan Paul case, like they should have been doing this. That's something they should have been doing. Now they shouldn't disclose what's in what. They should keep it private. But you could have validated that Logan Paul case was real just with the CT scan portion. So I think there are benefits to it, but I think people are overreacting like crazy to this news. I think it was always deemed possible. That's the first people that did it. And they're not even Pokemon people. They're non-Pokemon people that are doing it.
All right. So I want to kind of just like think past our hobby for a second and move into other realms. Think past our Pokemon realm that we like to focus on. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about sports. I want to talk about Magic the Gathering. Like, if you're a store, you have you're trying to find that one ring.
Mm-hmm.
You know where we're going with this, right? Like,
doesn't make sense. Does not make sense. These scans are not easily accessible. You know what I mean? Unless you work in radiology and you follow their guide or whatever.
I feel like it's just like that's like if you're not buying directly from the supplier, especially when we talk about these one rings as well as these like high-end limited edition sports cards, the hidden gems, it's just if you're not getting it directly from a supplier, you're buying that case from like a third party. Yeah.
Oh, man. Extended exposure radiation does reduce fertility, so maybe the people involved in all this stuff, have some side effects.
I'm just playing devil's advocate, man. I feel like we are in a scary time right now. Like these CT scanner open to like Pandora's box, and now we're just kind of living with after effects of it. I don't know. I'm completely I absolve myself because I don't collect sealed stuff, but I'm just trying to think of like the other implications across other hobbies, collectible hobbies, especially the card realm that we can think about.
When you grade cards, who really wins? Who's the winner when you get your cards graded?
The grading company.
So when you CT scan all your packs and the same packs getting CT scanned 5-6 times, the people winner is the CT scanning company. The person buying the collector, I don't know. It's just the people collecting the fees are usually the ones that are the ones cashing in. The people owning and selling are just we're kind of.
I'm just talking about like the lottery aspect of it, because then you'll see like people. The whole point of the one ring was that everyone had the exact same chance to get the one ring. But if you have like one company basically saying, no, it's not in here, not here, not here, not here, just keep flushing out, reselling those boxes again to the next market, knowing that the card's not in there is just, I don't know. It's very dirty. It's very scummy. I'm just kind of
too many boxes to scan for one ring. I mean, millions and millions of cards, and they had other like one rings in the box that weren't the ring, and so like I don't know. I think it would have been a waste of money to go for the one ring.
Okay, I'm just saying. I don't know, man. That's just my thought on the process. Those Rotoms are going to be working overtime. That's what I'm saying. Anyways,
you're going to make a ton of money, and if you have real packs and people trust you, then it shouldn't need to be scanned.
All right.
So offer a better price and save your money on the scanning.
You're far more optimistic than me. Maybe I'm just a pessimist.
Hobby's a beautiful place. Let's keep it beautiful.
All right. Our final segment of today's podcast is Collector's Corner. We usually end with viewer questions, but once again, last week, no viewer questions. So that makes Zach and us sad. We feel like we're not approachable. We're not questionable. So if you have questions, leave them in the comment box below, and then we will get to them, because most likely if you ask a question now, it will be answered because we're gonna have a question deficit. But anyways, Collector's Corner is a portion of our podcast where we personal stuff that we have in our own collections, and I always go first. So Zach, you can go first this week.
You mean me to go first?
You go first.
So you want to take a guess of what type of card this is?
It's going to be an error card. I'm going to say is a different colored border of some type.
It is a different color. It is an error card, not a border. It's one of those cards from Fossil that we were like, is this EX era? What is it? This and that. Well, I think the card I'm going to show you may be the most valuable of this type of card. It's the Orange Stain Haunter, and it's got this massive stain on there. It's like two rollers. So a lot of people are familiar with the Hitmonlee. And then the Haunter, a lot of people know about the purple stain Haunter over here. But this one's got an orange stain. It's absolutely massive. Super rare card. This is a raw one I picked up a couple years ago, but just never graded it. And I always thought this would get like a 9 or so, mostly just due to centering on the back and a little nick on the back. But this is like, there was a point in time I was looking for this card and couldn't find one. Like I didn't know if it existed. And now it's like there's probably 5 to 10 in the market. It's super cool to see my friends have them stuff too. So awesome Haunter card.
It's the butt wipe Haunter card. It's just like,
are you wiping orange when you wipe? You'd be worried about you, dog.
Oh man, I'm prepared for anything with the baby coming along.
Mm-hmm.
All the colors of the rainbow. Anyways, my card, not too bad. It's a card that I thought had some significance because last week you brought a card with it was like a Dragonite drawn on something else. What was it? It was a Charizard. It was a Charizard drawn on a Dragonite card, or is the reverse of that?
First a Dragonite fossil, the Charizard drawn on, kind of cool.
So I decided this week to actually bring a real Dragonite card. So this is the Battle Frontier promo Dragonite. The reason I decided to bring that, not only because it's an actual Dragonite card, I want to show off a Dragonite card, is that it's actually, the reason I brought it is because this year, 2024, is the year of the dragon, and I thought fitting. And we actually told all our family last week that we have the confirmed gender of our child, and it's actually a baby girl. A baby girl.
Yay! Good job,
baby girl dragon. I didn't do anything. Well, I did something, but I'm not doing the majority of the work. My wife is doing the bulk of the work, growing our child as well. A big thank you to Zach, because apparently we did a lot of research online, and the go-to place to buy baby clothing is Target. And unfortunately, Target did not survive in Canada. They came up here for a year, and they just Canada ain't it, and they pulled the chute, and all the stores closed. So we actually had some baby onesies imported to Uncle Zach, which he will then send to me. So I thank you, Zach, for being the intermediary for our baby clothing.
Postal workers like, you guys baby clothes coming in. What's going on, man? And it's like, don't worry, it's not mine. They're like, no, okay, we got your secret, man.
That's all right. That's right. You're provided for children that you don't want anyone to know about.
Oh my gosh, it looks like your Dragonite might have wiped on this Haunter right here, that orange Dragonite.
But anyways, I like this card. It's I don't even know. I think it was like a Battle Frontier Rally card. When I bought it, I think it was like a $250 card. I have no idea the blue book value on this card right now. Probably I'd say $750,000. Can't be sure, but I like the way it was designed. I like the way it looked, and I was collecting at the time. So yeah, very nice card.
Yeah, I like that card too. It's got the leader on there, the tail swipe. I like that. There's an Alakazam around there too that I like a lot as well. So it's a cool area. I like how they changed things up and they kept things moving.
There's a Drifloon in that area as well, which is a really nice card. Maybe I'll bring that next week or next time that we are back. But ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the close of this week's episode of Next Gen TCG. I thank you guys for coming. I wish Zach a very safe and hopefully fruitful travel to Hawaii World.
Enjoy Worlds.
You're very fair skinned, so you better be slathering on that sunscreen. We don't want you coming back looking like a jinx, right? So make sure you put on that sunscreen, okay?
Yeah, I definitely gotta get sunscreen. I'm gonna go from like a rare to like a well done in like an hour, so it's gonna be fun. I literally, some of the best friends in the world only go to Worlds, and if you've never been to World Championships, you got to go. Tetra, I'm talking to you as well, so I just can't wait to get back and share some of the stories. So hopefully make it back in one piece.
We're gonna try to do a podcast closely after the end of Worlds, around closer like the 22nd to record. There is a slight chance we may be delayed because I'm actually getting my last and final wisdom tooth removed at the end of August. So that may throw a wrench into our scheduling broadcast because I won't be able to talk because I will have stitches in my mouth, and that's no fun.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. So if there's like a long delay, it's because I had a tooth removed from the back of my mouth and are unable to speak. But yeah, we'll see. Anyways, thank you for joining us, and we will see you guys next time.
See you guys.